Welcome back, folks. We only have a few minutes left before we toss it over to Dr. Gina Primetime tonight. I'm going to be watching. You should be too. But there's an extraordinary movement going on right now in the Lone Star State of Texas. In fact, it's called the Texas National Movement, or Texit. And so far, more than 400,000 Texans have joined the movement to make Texas an independent nation once again. Here to discuss this idea is Daniel Miller, who serves as president of this movement. Daniel, great to have you on the show.
Hey, thanks for having me.
This is amazing. If you told me 10 years ago that there would be hundreds of thousands of people ready to leave the United States, create their own nation, oh, no, it can't be. It's really happening. Tell us what's fueling the frustration of these 400,000 people that have joined the Texit movement.
Well, I mean, look, given what's going on in Washington, D.C. and how the federal government trajectory has been, if you'd have told me 25 years ago that I would still be working on this, I'd have said you were crazy.
Yeah.
But, you know, the fact of the matter is that Texans are looking at those 180,000 pages of federal laws, rules, and regulations administered by 2.5 million unelected bureaucrats and realizing that we're having our rights, particularly the right of self-government, stolen from us. You look at issues like this attack that is on the border, this invasion that's happening, that is being facilitated by the federal government. You look at the dysfunction in Washington, D.C. You look at debt. You look at spending. You look at the attacks on rights. And, I think it's pretty obvious why right now, if Texas were to be on the ballot, it would win. And it wouldn't win by a little. It would win by a lot.
Wow.
Yeah, Daniel, I had a little bit of a window into how you felt about the immigration crisis because you talked about throwing chairs. So before you go Bobby Knight on us, I wanted to ask you, I love it when tech oligarchs have to eat crow. And your organization made Meta, the parent group of Facebook, do that recently. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, absolutely. Starting in October, Facebook instituted a ban on any of our supporters posting links to our website. So under a new Texas law that was passed in the last session, we took Facebook and Meta to court. And we are absolutely suing them. And then in December, they relented to a certain extent. They said, look, we'll remove the restriction off of posting links to your website. Will you drop the lawsuit? And we said, absolutely not. You referred to us as a dangerous or harmful organization. We follow a peaceful legislative process to give the people of Texas their right of self-government, and you're going to pay for what you have done. And of course, I think it's no coincidence that Facebook's offer to remove the link and asking us to drop the lawsuit came after the second batch of Twitter files where we saw exposed for the world to see collusion between the tech oligarchs and the Washington, D.C. intelligence community and law enforcement. So we're going to ride this all the way out, not just for us, but for everyone who has had their voices silenced by big tech. And you know what? We're going to win.
Yeah, this censorship issue is so jaw-dropping. It's unthinkable just how deeply involved government and big tech are in silencing opinions. Not dangerous material, they're silencing opinions. It's crazy. I want to ask a little bit, you have launched a pretty significant effort on college campuses, getting young people, getting them involved. Tell us how that's going, what sort of partners you might have on that.
Yeah, look, our college campus program is really brand new officially, but, it's just an extension of what we're trying to do. I mean, you have to look. Right now, as it stands, according to the Survey USA poll back in the summer, right now we're at support of 66% of likely voters in Texas. So our primary job right now is to connect with as many of those supporters as possible to push the Texas legislature to pass the Texas Independence Referendum Act. When that passes, Texans will have an opportunity in November of 2023 to go to the ballot and answer this question: should the state of Texas reassert its status as an independent nation? So all we're asking for is our appropriate rights under Article 1, Section 2 of the Texas Constitution to put this question to the people of Texas and let them be the final arbiters. And that means, whether you're 18 years old or 98 years old, we want to hear from the people of Texas. We want to reclaim our right of self-government, and that's exactly what we're doing.
Amazing.
I love it. Dana, we've just got about a minute left. I know that as far as Texas is concerned, there are a lot of compelling arguments. What are your thoughts on the Convention of States approach, though?
Yeah, I mean, the Convention of States approach, and while I value their voice in the discussion, the fact of the matter is it's predicated on the belief that the federal government is capable of being fixed. And I think, if nothing, the last 72 hours plus have shown us that the federal government is broken beyond all repair. I mean, did we need $1.7 trillion worth of omnibus bill added to the debt, selling our children and grandchildren into debt slavery to tell us that the federal government is incapable of fixing itself? As an institution, the federal government is terminally broken, and it's going to be up to the states to reassert our status as independent nations and preserve the things that people typically think of when they think of America.
Well, Daniel, you and your movement, all the eyes of the nation are going to be on, particularly if that gets on the ballot in November 2023. Thanks for joining us today. Great to have you on.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, great honor. All right, folks, don't go anywhere. In just a few minutes, Dr. Gina will be here, and we'll be back tomorrow night with a whole lot more news. I'm sure we'll have some breaking details on the speaker's battle, and we might have a new exclusive about January 6th. We had the police chief on earlier. Stay tuned. We're working on some new documents. Might have those tomorrow night as well. Until then, tune in to Dr. Gina, and we're going to say goodnight.